plant community. My name is Pam and thanks for tuning into this channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. Today you guys, I'm just going to talk about 12 top products that you would need if you're a new plant parent on how to be successful. So let's just get right into it. I don't have no particular order, but these are just items that I found to be quite useful during my daily routine of plant care and just information that I've felt that works best for me, okay? So the first thing, you guys, we want to go with, of course, you cannot go wrong with buying yourself a moisture meter. Yes, you guys, we want to use our finger, and if you guys have been watching me sometimes for some time now, I went over and talked about how the first knuckle of your finger represents 1 inch of soil, as well as your second knuckle represents 2 inches of the soil. But sometimes you can get plants with bigger pots that's deeper, that's going beyond our index finger. And also too, there may be cases where it may feel a little damp, may feel a little dry, but you're not 100% sure. And the moisture meter is one important way to go about it. It's not very expensive. You can order one from Amazon. You can actually get one from Walmart, I've seen. And it pretty much, for the most part, has been, I think, priced, at least when I brought it, under $10. Now, there are other gauges on the moisture meter, which would be light as well as pH balance, but I'm not 100% familiar with those, so I don't really use it for that purpose, but I am definitely using this to check the moisture in the soil. So a very handy tool. I highly recommend this first because as being a new plant parent, you guys, the #1 killer is usually overwatering. So this will definitely set you into the road to success. Now my next one, you want to have spray bottle. I just have a regular spray bottle that I got from the dollar store, and this is filled with just water. And water, reason why is because you want to spray down your leaves sometimes, and also when you want to clean your leaves, and as a pest management type of thing, if you want to check for pests and things like that and spray down your leaves and clean them, spray bottle is the way to go, and you want to have water. And of course, without a spray bottle, you definitely need item number 3, cloth. Now this is just one of those micro fabric cloths that I got actually from the dollar store, but honestly you guys, a rag is a rag, right? So you don't necessarily have to run to the store right then and there and just buy one. I just happen to get these because I do have these for my other cleaning around the house, so I was going to buy it anyway. But if you don't want to spend $1 specifically just for a rag to clean your plants, you can use any cotton type of rag. A rag is a rag. It could be an old cotton shirt or possibly an old washcloth that you're ready to throw away, but you can just use it to wipe down your leaves, and that will save you money there. Now my next one, you guys, too, as far as pest management, let's just jump right into that because that's something that will also encourage success throughout your plant journey. You want to double check, always check your plants for pests, and as well as a pre-pest management type of situation, you're going to need something such as your insecticidal soap or some form of insect check spray. This is actually not really insecticidal soap, but it's a dead bug brew that I do use to kill, like it says, caterpillars, thrips, spider mites, and things of that nature. And it's very good. You can, like I said, I do use insecticidal soap. I thought this was actually insecticidal soap. I must have ran out, so I have to buy some more, which is fine, but this works just as well. You spray down your plants below, on top of the leaves, underneath the leaves, along the trails, the trunks, or whatever it is, depending on the plant growth. And you let it sit for a while, spray it down with some water, and then the next thing that you're actually going to need, you guys, will be, I say, Neem Oil Solution. Now you can buy the already pre-mixed Neem Oil Solution. You can get that at your big box stores such as a Lowe's or possibly a Home Depot. I, however, have the concentrated version of the Neem Oil Solution where I make it myself, and I just pretty much make it and pour it in here. and I've had it for quite some time. This is another Pest Management solution that you want to use. So for me, what I do, and as you go along your journey too, you guys, it's not about how I take care of plants, it's what works best for you. So you can take some of these things and apply it to your plant care if it's successful to you and you want to continue doing it, great. And if you come across some other ideas that work best for you, I strongly recommend go along with it. So I'm just pretty much sharing with you guys what I've done in my time of my plant journey and what has really worked best for me. So what I do in regards to my pest management, I either use my insecticidal soap or my dead bug brew. I spray the plant down vigorously with that. I let it sit for a few minutes, I say like 5 or 6 minutes or something like that. Then I'm spraying it down with the hose with my water, vigorously just spraying it down. And then I cap it off and finish with spraying my Neem Oil Solution. And then I'm wiping my leaves. And that's pretty much what I do. I don't do it every time. I would say maybe for me, because I have a large variety of plants here, and for it to be realistically working for myself, I would say I'm doing it at least maybe 4 to 5 times within a year duration. So it's up to you. It depends on your availability of time, the number of plants you have, and things like that. But you'll figure it out, trust me. And my next one, you guys, you definitely want to get some shears. And I got this from, I think, a dollar store as well. Not very expensive. You want shears because you're going to have to do some pruning and possibly cleaning off or pulling away some dead leaves or dead debris or something like that. And if you want to encourage growth, of course, pruning is a great way to promote a healthy growth in your plants. Now, of course, before you prune, you want to make sure that your tips are sanitized. Now, you can use 2 things, but I'm going to show you real quick what I do. It's convenient for me because I buy them anyway. And that would be my disinfectant wipes. I'm just pretty much, it's available to me. I just pull one off, rip it out. I'm cleaning my shears. And I'm done. It's a very convenient way for me. Like I say, I already buy the disinfectant wipes, so it's not like I'm doing anything extra out of my budget or anything to add to my plant care. If you're one that do not buy disinfectant wipes, then there is also alcohol is a great way to sterilize your shears, so you can just have your random rubbing alcohol around and you can get a rag or possibly paper towel to do the same trick. But this is what I do for me and it works well and it's very convenient for me. Now, another cool thing that I say is a must-have, especially if you live in an area where we experience all 4 seasons. I strongly recommend you guys, this is a must, especially if you have plants in your collection that are light-loving plants, and that would be artificial lighting. Now, this light I have right here is my go-to, you guys. It's actually my Sansi light. And if you've been watching me for some time, I always talk about Sansi light here and there in a video here or there. But I really recommend some form of a grow light. It doesn't necessarily have to be this particular type because it can be a little pricey for a light bulb. But like I said, if you use some form of a growing medium, actually LED lights, if you get an LED grow light per se, the actual bulb that you would put in your regular lamp, they work well too. I actually have a couple of them and actually in my regular lamps in my house where I have plants, and it tends to love it, and it's keeping it growing, it's keeping it alive. And that's the main key that we want to have, especially when we approach the winter month. All things that we can do to keep the plants alive. Now, if they happen to shoot out new growth, then that part to me would be considered a bonus, right? Okay, so after that, let's see, a couple of other things. Oh, these right here, you guys. These are clear containers to catch your water. As you can see, you have some for your smaller pots, which would be typically up to 6 inches. And this one is up to 8 inches. Now what I do, I have a whole lot of plants, you guys, and pulling them down and removing them from where I have them at just to water them so they can properly drain really is not realistic for me as a plant parent. and because I have such a large variety at this point. So most of my plants, if they're not in a cash pole per se, I do have these trays literally sitting underneath of my my plants that's in planters with drainage holes. That way it's convenient enough for me to actually water the plants, and that way I don't have to move them. I'm not too much of a heavy waterer where it will be heavily doused in water, so I never have to worry about root rot. And also too, depending on your plant types too, because there are certain plants that prefer to be bottom water than top water. This is also very helpful, where you can just put the water here in the bottom and the plant will absorb the water that way. So I think I strongly recommend this. It's very beneficial for me. Now, another thing too, you may come across an option or time where you're actually going to do some repotting, or maybe you're just cleaning off your plants and maybe your plants are covered in dirt, debris, whatever the case is. A little brush, which you actually can get these from the dollar store, is very useful to just clean off your leaves a little bit. Now, I have these laying around because I'm a creative person. I have a lot of different hobbies. I dibble and dabble in a lot of things. So me finding a small paintbrush in my home is not uncommon. But if you're an individual that do not have a paintbrush, by all means, don't go to the store to just buy a paintbrush. Something else that you can use too that I think is quite handy, and it would be a toothbrush. Your old toothbrush. Believe it or not, we change our toothbrushes, so they say it's recommended to change it out at least twice a year. Before you trash it out, wash it out very well, sterilize it, and then you can actually repurpose this and use this as cleaning dirt and debris off of your plants. And it's a very handy tool. It didn't cost you anything. You was going to trash it anyway, so this is a good way to save some money. Now my next two and final items, you guys, because now you're on the pathway to success, new plant parents, and your plants are thriving, they're growing under your care. You're feeling more confident now, and you will be successful, sending positive vibes out to you. So having that in mind, you guys, this comes into with the next thing. This would be actually a moss pole. Now this one is already a pre-made one. I didn't even open it up yet. I haven't used it yet. But this is a pre-made one that you can order off of Amazon, probably get it from Walmart, or if not that, then you can also use bamboo stakes, things of that nature. As you get a little bit more familiar with what your plants like, will help you determine a little bit better as far as how you want your plants to grow, what you want them to latch on to, and things of that nature. I will leave that up to you. But since I know that you guys are going to be very successful during your plant journey, and your plants are going to grow beautifully, you do need some form of a support. So you can either buy a moss pole, or if you're creative, or if you like working with your hands, then you can make them on your own. But this is very handy, especially for those philodendrons that love to grow up and wild. This will hold it and support it. Now, along with this, one last and final thing that I highly recommend is actually how we're going to tie the plant up onto this thing. And this, you guys, I get this usually. Someone told me that they've seen these in a dollar store. I have not had the luxury to see them in a dollar store, but for the most part, I do traditionally buy these from Lowe's or Home Depot, and these are the Velcro strips. I really love them because not only you can reuse these if you wanted to take your plants down, and you can use this on your trellis, on your moss pole, anything that you want to hang it up. It's just pretty much, and it's not harmful to the plant. It's not tight as long as you don't wind it around too tight. You don't risk, I guess, cutting off the plant circulation. And this along with this will help keep the plant growing and thriving and being in place as you guys will be successful. So that pretty much is it, you guys. I think I covered the main things. The top 12 things I felt that would benefit you as a new plant parent to be successful. If you guys below who's been going through the plant journey for quite some time, if you have any recommendations for our new plant parents out there, please comment, share down below. I'm interested to hear from you. Anything that I may not have mentioned, or if you have different tricks and tips that works well for you, please share in this beautiful plant community. And that pretty much wraps this video up, you guys. Keep in mind, you guys, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, you know what to do at this point. Please hit that subscribe button. Give me a big thumbs up if you can, or a thumbs down, whichever way you want to vote about it. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, you guys. And until next time, guys, much love. Until next time.